This video will go over the Georgian verb in greater detail while also introducing the future tense. As you might recall from our previous video, Georgian verbs, the basics, Georgian verbs do not have infinitive forms, nor do they conjugate in a traditional form like they do in Romance or Slavic languages. Georgian tenses, too, operate differently than Romance or Slavic languages. Most tenses in Georgian are formed with prefixes and suffixes which are added to the conjugated forms of the verb. Perfective tenses, which are tenses which deal with definitive times, use prefixes, and imperfective tenses, tenses which deal with a general time span, do not use prefixes. There are 15 prefixes in Georgian. This may seem like a lot, but each one has its own meaning, which will be discussed more thoroughly in a later video. But let's go over a few of the most common ones. For example, she generally means going inside. The word shesasveli means entrance. Ga generally means going outside. The word gasasveli means exit. Gada generally means across, and words like crosswalk, gadasasveli, use this prefix. The verb translate uses this prefix because the action is crossing languages. Cool, right? The most commonly used prefixes are da and ga. The Georgian future tense uses only a prefix. Unlike English, which actually has both a perfective and imperfective future tense, Georgian only has a perfective future tense. This means that there is no difference between I'm going to do and I will do in Georgian. To form the future tense, and therefore other perfective tenses, simply add the verb's corresponding prefix to the front of the present tense conjugated form. Let's take a look at the verb akadeb, which is to do or to make. The prefix is in red, while the conjugated form in the present tense is in the regular font. Let's take a look at another verb, tser, which is to write. As you can see, forming the future tense is pretty easy. Just add the verb's prefix and don't change anything else. There is, however, one category of verbs which conjugate slightly differently. Verbs that end in ob, such as laparakob, to talk, and sauprob, to speak or converse. These verbs generally conjugate using the prefix e. However, this prefix goes after the v in the I and we forms. Additionally, the final ob changes to eb. Again, most of these verbs conjugate in this manner, but there are a few exceptions. Additionally, there are a few irregular verbs in Georgian that do not follow the rules above. Here's a list of verbs we learned in a previous video, including their future forms. The prefix is emboldened in red. Here are a few new verbs. They are in their present tense second person singular form. However, their prefix is in red. Sklovrob, live. Stsavlob, study. Targmani, translate. Pikrob, think. Achereb, stop. Ukrav, to play music or to play an instrument. Tamashob, to play a game, to play a sport. Mushaob, work. Here are a few of the new verbs conjugated in their present and future tenses, just for practice. Vitskovrub, I live, becomes Vitskovreb, I will live. Pikrobin, they are thinking, becomes Ipikrobin, they will think. Ukrav, you play, becomes Daukrav, you will play. Tamashobt, you play, becomes Itamashebd, you will play. For more information on Georgian, visit our website www.visiting-georgia.com. Thanks for watching.